Our nightmare began several years ago when my daughter was diagnosed with a rare and chronic physical condition. Physical activity became an everyday stress for her. She was young when she was diagnosed, and as she matured, it became harder for her to cope with. So the normal life as a teenager brought even more stress and anxiety for her. Then with a desire to fit in and cope with the typical teenage pressures, it became overwhelming. My daughter had somehow transformed into someone I no longer knew. Her behavior was bizarre. She acted as though she had zero self-control. I scheduled appointments with a counselor. She became regular sessions.
Take your time.
Every session with the counselor, she refused to talk. She had complete disregard for anything the counselor had to say. She just became more angry with each passing day. It was just consuming her more and more. I couldn't help but to wonder what happened to my little girl. I became frantic. I wanted to help her. I needed answers. I needed to find something. In a desperate attempt for some sort of explanation, I began to check her cell phone. One day, as I opened up her pictures, I was absolutely devastated at the images I found. It was picture after picture of my little girl hurting herself. I began looking through her room. I tore her room apart. I just had to know everything. Just as I thought the situation couldn't possibly get worse, I found a letter. As I read the letter, I was just heartbroken and scared. It said, "I'm sorry. I can't go on living anymore. Mom, it's not your fault, and I love you very much." I had no clue that she was this desperate. I had no clue she had reached this level of despair and that she had ever come close to having these thoughts. I am very fortunate that I was finally able to get my help the daughter that she desperately needed. Because I didn't give up, I got connected with a professional that could help her. I'm so blessed. However, she still has some days that are better than others. She's still learning how to cope and understands now that she's not alone. Unfortunately, other parents are dealing with similar experiences like this every day. People of all ages have depression, anxiety, and other extreme emotions without even knowing that someone was struggling internally. My wish is to raise awareness so that anyone who might be faced with this nightmare like mine knows that they're not alone and that help is available. If you know someone that is struggling, exhibiting signs of depression or suicide, show them that you care, get them connected to treatment, follow up with them, let them know that you're there, you encourage them to use the resources that are available to them. You, too, can ask for help as a caregiver or a friend. When a friend breaks a bone, we get them medical treatment. When a friend or a loved one is in distress, we should do the same thing. Get them connected to treatment, whether it's the person's physician. There's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. There's a 24/7 free confidential support. My daughter did have a few words that she wanted mentioned. For those who could be suffering from depression, she says, "I hope that you all can find the love within yourselves and get out of this dark place that you are in. I encourage you to get help or tell somebody. Suicide and self-harm is not the way to go. I know you think it's the only way. I thought so too, but it isn't. Depression is tough, no matter what you're going through. Just remember, you can get through it. I believe in you."
Thank you very much for sharing such a heart-wrenching and touching story, and for your daughter for being so strong to be able to share those words and allow you to share her story. As a mother, I can't even begin to imagine. The fact that you took the proactive approach to know that something was wrong and to make a difference is probably why your daughter's still with you today. We don't talk about this enough. We need to shine the light on it so that more kids can know that there are kids that are in the same boat that you are, but there is an answer.